Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's episode of Morte D'Arthur. Hello Carly, welcome. Did you enjoy Keats on Friday, Carly, when you'd finished off with Annie? Can we go? Yeah. Excellent. I'm glad. That makes me very happy. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun reading it. It was tough, actually, really tough to go and do. Hello, Kaza. I haven't seen you in ages. Come in. We're just talking about last Friday's episode of Poetry Live when I read A Pot of Basil by Keats, and just say it's quite tough to go and do that long bit of poetry all in one go. Don't apologise, Kaza, don't apologise. I'm just really happy to see you back. Come in. We'll give it a couple of minutes before we get started with tonight's tale, but you're very, very welcome. And hello, Rick and Rebecca and Matthew as well. Do take a seat. Hi, Danny. Come in. He says as he suddenly needs to go. And excellent. Good. I'm glad to have you back as well. I've just realised that everyone's going to be coming in and wanting to have access to the... Ladies and gents, I've got my list of possible names for the damsel for this downstairs. Could I ask you all a big favour? I'm going to go run downstairs and get my list of names that we're going to be picking out of a hat to see what we should be calling the damsel in tonight's story. I will be gone for but a few moments, but I also don't want people thinking that the person running this show has gone and run off and left them. If anyone comes in the meantime, can you give them a big hello from me and let them know I've just run downstairs because I'm running behind tonight and I will be right back. Can you do that? I hope so. I'm trusting you guys. I will be right back. There. Totally cool, guys. You never even noticed I was gone, did you? That was the fastest sprint downstairs to the kitchen table I've ever done. But we're there, we're good, we're sorted, he says, and give it another couple of minutes and we'll be there for tonight's show. Danny, you've got a last minute request. Excellent, right. We have one. We are, before we get into tonight's show, for those of you who haven't been here for the past couple of nights, the tale of Sir Beaumains involves a damsel who rebukes poor old Sir Beaumains at the slightest chance, which makes him very, very sad. Makes us all sad, I think, that poor Sir Beaumains gets so rebuked. But I'm fed up of calling her the damsel non-stop. And so I've decided that we're going to go and pick a new name for her, because Mally was rubbish, absolutely rubbish at giving his female characters names. We're going to name her. Well, Danny, in here, actually going to scrunch these up a little bit more. In here, we've got one name, two names, three names submitted, 4 names submitted. 5 names submitted for the correct name for the damsel. He says, whoops. He says, here we go, let's just go. Pop this all up, pop this all up, pop this all up, pop this all up, pop this all up. Let's get some hopping names. Oh, we've got one falling out. Right, ladies and gents, the name for the damsel for the rest of this season shall be... Very, very exciting times, very, very exciting times. What have we got? Danny, you've won. It's Lanth. We have... Is it Lanth or Lanthy, Danny? How am I pronouncing this? Lanth or Lanthy, Danny? Which one? Option 1 or option 2? I have to check on this because it wasn't until I got to the Prisoner of Azkaban that I realised that Hermione was called Hermione and not Hermione. I'd spent the first 3 books calling her Hermione Granger, much to everybody's joy in my family. Yes, good job I wasn't reading that live on Periscope at the time. Hermione Granger. But Lanth it will be for the name of our 3rd damsel. And so, let's get into tonight's show. Oh, with an I, like Ian. Ianthe then. Thank you, Danny. You've saved me from getting into a lot of difficulty and trouble down the line. Bloody Hermione Granger. No one bothered to correct me, by the way. Nobody bothered to correct me until I was done with Azkaban. Just not fair. But Danny's corrected me. Ianthe will be the name of our damsel. So let's get into tonight's show with a quick recap of where we've been so far. So, it's peaceful in all of England. Arthur is settled within his court with his wife, Guinevere, when a tall man, a broad man, has come to his court. This man seems to have a knightly stature, and yet has no title, has no knightly name. But he's come to the court of Arthur, and he's asked Arthur to grant him 3 favours. Now, he asked for this on the Feast of Pentecost, and it being the Feast of Pentecost, and King Arthur being a man to entertain curious requests when they come by, agreed to grant this stranger 3 wishes. The first wish that the stranger had was to be fed for 12 months by Arthur's court, and at the end of that time to ask for his second 2 wishes. Arthur agreed, and so this man was sent to the kitchens to be given food by the castle steward, Sir Kay. And Arthur said that this man should be treated like a lord, for indeed some of the knights of the Round Table, Sir Gawain and Sir Lancelot among them, thought that this man was a knight or a lord in disguise. Sir Kay, though, refused to believe it and decided to treat him like a kitchen boy, making him sleep on the floor of the castle's kitchens, feeding him on scraps. 12 months passed, ladies and gentlemen. 12 months of living in the kitchens. And then a damsel called Ianthe came to the castle to request the help of Arthur and his knights, and said that her own lady was being held a prisoner in her own castle by the evil Lord of the Red Lands. Now the Lord of the Red Lands is a dastardly knight whom none can easily face off against. Arthur's knights were afraid to go off against him. Arthur himself seemed scared. But this man who'd come to the castle, this man who had been given the name of Beaumains and treated as a kitchen boy asked Arthur for his final 2 wishes. One, that Arthur would give him leave to take this quest upon himself, and second, that Arthur would make Beaumains a knight within his own court. Arthur agreed to both of these terms, but the damsel Ianthe refused to accept them. And so Ianthe stormed off, not wanting to be helped by a kitchen boy, leaving Beaumains to go off after her. Now, it has been revealed to us in private that Beaumains is not in fact a mere kitchen boy, and is in fact a knight true, for he is the brother of Sir Gawain, a knight of the Round Table. But Ianthe does not know this, and Beaumains is determined on proving his worth to her through deeds and goodwill, rather than through having some title. And yet, no matter how many people that Beaumains saves, no matter how many evil knights he slays, no matter how many times he saves Ianthe, she has nothing but scorn for him, because he is but a kitchen boy in her eyes. We join them for tonight's tale. After Beaumains has defeated the Black Knight, the Green Knight and the Red Knight, and heads on towards the Lord of the Red Lands to find that Ianthe still has no love for him. Episode 11. Damsel, said Beaumains, you are uncourteous so, to rebuke me as you do. For me seems that I have done you good service, and yet ever you threaten me that I shall be beaten by the knights that we meet. For ever all your boasts lie in the dust or in the mire, for I have defeated them all, and therefore I pray that you rebuke me no more. And when you do see me beaten or yielding as a recreant, then you may bid me to leave you in shame. But first I will let you know that I will not depart from you, for then I would be worse than a fool, and I would leave from you all the while that I have a chance yet to win worship. Well, said she, right soon there shall you meet a knight, who shall pay you all of your wages, for he is the most man of worship in all the world except King Arthur. I will well, said Beaumains. The more he is of worship, the more shall he be my worship to have ado with him. And then anon they were aware that before them was a city, rich and fair. And between them and the city, 1.5 miles, there was a fair meadow that seemed new mown, and therein there were laid many pavilions that were fair to behold. Lo, said the damsel, yonder is a lord that owneth yonder city, and his custom is, when the weather is fair, to lie in this meadow and joust and tourney. And ever there is about him 500 knights and gentlemen of arms, and there are all manner of games that any gentleman can devise. And that, goodly lord, said Beaumains, would I like to see. You shall see him time enough, said Ianthe. And so, as she rode near, she espied the pavilion where he was. Lo, said she, see you about you that there is men and women and horses, trapped with shields and spears of all the colour of Inde, and his name is Sir Pesant of Inde, the most lordliest knight that ever you looked on. It shall well be, said Beaumains. But he is never so stout a knight in this field. I shall abide till I see him under his shield. Ah, fool, said she, you do better to flee by now. Why, said Beaumains, he can't be such the knight that you make him out to be. He will not set upon me with all his men, or with 500 knights. For there come no more but one at once. I shall meet him, and I will not fail while my life lasts. Fie, fie, said the damsel. that ever such a stinking knave should blow such a boast. Damsel, said he, you are to blame, and so to rebuke me. For I had ever to do 5 battles, and have won them all, and yet you still shame me. Let him come, and let him do his worst. Sir, said she, I marvel what you do, and of what kin you come from, and how boldly you speak, and how boldly you've done, and that I have seen. Therefore, I pray, save yourself, as you might, for your horse and you have been through great troubles, and I dread that we dwell here overlong from the siege, for it's only 7 miles, and all perilous passages we are past, all save this one, and here I dread lest you should catch some hurt. Therefore I would that you were gone from me, and were not bruised nor hurt with such a strong knight. But I will let you know that Sir Persant of Indies nothing of might nor strength unto the knight that laid the siege about my lady. Even if you beat him, the Lord of the Red Lands will slay you. As for that, said Sir Beaumains, be as it may. For since I am come so nigh this night, I will prove his might, or I depart from him, and else I shall be shamed. Now I withdraw me from him, and therefore, damsel, have you no doubt, by the grace of God, I shall so deal with this knight, that within 2 hours after noon I shall have delivered him, and then shall we come to the siege by daylight, and save your lady. O Jesus, marvel have I, said the damsel, what manner of man you be, for it may never be otherwise, but that perhaps you do come of a noble blood. For so foul nor shamefully did never woman rule a knight as I have for you, and ever courteously have you suffered me, that you must have come of a gentle blood. Damsel, said Beaumains, a knight may little do that, may not suffer a damsel for whatsoever you said unto me. I took no heed of your words, for the more you said, the more you angered me, and my wrath I wreaked upon them that I had ado with, and therefore all that missaying that you've put upon me just further helped me in my battle, and caused me to think and to show and prove myself at the end what I was. For adventure I had meat in King Arthur's kitchen, yet I might have had meat enough in other places, but all that I did, it was to prove to my friends, who shall know me another day. And whether I am a gentleman born or not, I will let you know, fair damsel, I have done you a gentleman's service, and perhaps better service yet I will do you still before I depart from you. Alas, said she, fair Beaumains, forgive me all I have missaid or done against thee. With all my heart, said he, I forgive it to you, for you did nothing but as you should do, for all your evil words pleased me. And Ianthe, said Beaumains, since it is like you to say this and be fair unto me, it will gladden my heart greatly. And now, it seems, there's not a single knight living that I will not be able to fight. Hallelujah, ladies and gentlemen, we're halfway through tonight's tale, and Ianthe, the damsel, has finally cracked that heart of ice, has melted. She is falling fast for Sir Beaumains, has finally seen through all of her preconceptions and her prejudices to see that Sir Beaumains is in fact a noble knight. I'm excited about this, ladies and gents. I hope you're excited about this as well. It seems that after having done all of this, fighting against Sir Persant of Indy, which is our next challenge, will be Small Beans. Absolutely, Danny. It is because we named her. So, let's get into the final half of tonight's tale, ladies and gents. With this, Sir Persant of Indy had spied them as they hovered in the field, and nightly he sent to them whether he came in war or peace. Say to your lord, said Beaumains to the messenger, that I take no force but whether as he offers it himself. And so the messenger went again to Persant and told him all his answer. Well then, I will have ado with him to the utterance. And so he purveyed him and rode against him. And Beaumains saw him and made ready, and readied his horse, and ran, and there they met with all that ever their horses could run, and broke their spears together in 3 pieces. So that their horses rushed together, and both their horses fell dead to the earth. Lightly did the men avoid their horses, and put their shields before them, draw their swords, and then gave many great strokes, that sometimes they hurtled together, and then fell grovelling to the ground. Thus they fought for 2 hours or more, that their shields and their hauberks were all shattered in many pieces, and they were bloody wounded. So at last did Sir Beaumains rise up against him, and smite at Sir Persant through the cost of the body. And he betrayed him here and there, and nightly maintained his battle long. And at the last, though he was loath to do it, Beaumains smote Sir Persant upon the helm, and she fell grovelling to the earth. Then he leapt him over thwart, and unlaced his helm, to have slain him by the throat. But Sir Persant yielded him, and asked for mercy. With that came Ianthe, who prayed to save his life. I will well, for it were pity this noble knight should die. Thank you, said Persant, gentle knight and damsel, for certainly now I wot well it was that you slew my brother the Black Knight at the Black Thorn. He was a full noble knight, his name was Sir Persard. Also, I am sure that you are he that won my other brother the Green Knight, his name was Sir Pertolape. And also, you won my brother the Red Knight, Sir Perimones. And now, since you have won these, this shall I do to please you. You shall have homage and fealty of me, and 100 knights to be always at your commandment, to go and ride where you will command us. And so they went unto Sir Persant's pavilion, and drank wine and ate spices. And afterwards Sir Persant made him to rest upon a bed till supper time, and after supper to bed again. When Beaumains was abed, Sir Persant had a lady, a fair daughter of 18 years of age, and there he called her unto him, and charged her, and commanded her upon his blessing, to go to the knight's bed, and lie down by his side, and make him no strange cheer, but good cheer, and take him in thine arms, and kiss him, and look that this be done, I charge you, and you will have my love and goodwill. And so Sir Persant's daughter did as her father bade her, and she went to Sir Beaumains' bed, and privily she removed her clothes, and laid down by him, and he awoke, and saw her, and asked her what she was. She said, I am Sir Persant's daughter, that by the commandment of my father has come hither. Are you a maid or a wife? Said he. Sir, she said, I am a virgin maid. God defend, said he, that I should defoul you to do Sir peasant such a shame. Therefore, fair damsel, rise out of this bed, or else I will. Sir, she said, I came not to you by my own will, but I was commanded. Alas, said Sir Beaumains, I, if I were a shameful knight, would do your father this worship. And so he kissed her, and she departed, and came unto Sir Persant her father, and told him all how she had sped. Truly, said Sir Persant, whatever he be, he is come of noble blood. And so we shall leave them there until the morning. Ladies and gents, we end tonight's story there. Sir Beaumains, having proved himself not just a knight in arms, but also a knight in chivalry, and how he treats women. We'll end the story there for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you, Kathy, by the way. Really enjoyed that story. I love the fact that we've named the damsel Ianthe, which is awesome. The fact that Ianthe has finally warmed up to Beaumains, and that we are but 7 miles now from the siege that's holding Ianthe's lady prisoner. Tomorrow night we'll finally hear the story of Sir Beaumains' true name, and how he is Sir Garth, and then to the siege, ladies and gents, so that we can finally see Sir Beaumains go and get, face off against the Lord of the Redlands. You did miss the name, Jess. You did. Well, I'm sorry that you missed them, Karen, but welcome back. It's awesome to have you back for the show. Same time tomorrow. But yes, Danny won with Ianthe. Ianthe, which we learnt how to properly pronounce, is the name of the damsel. As we go and continue with season 7, Beaumains heading off towards the siege. Got some good episodes coming up this week. I'm massively excited about telling all these tales. So good to have you back, Karen. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad it's Monday. We've got another 4 awesome days of stories coming up. So you can't ask for better than that, can you? Now, what are we doing on Poetry Live? He says. What's coming up on Poetry Live tonight? Do I have? I should. No. Where's my schedule? Oh, here we go. It's some T.S. Eliot tonight. Hello, Frank. Hello. That's it. We're doing Old Possums by T.S. Eliot. So, T.S. Eliot, it's going to be for tonight. We're going to be doing some Old Possums. No, Frank, no, I haven't cut my hair. Although it has somehow magically transformed itself this morning into looking smaller. Old Possums, it's what's the full title? It's Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. T.S. Eliot wrote, honestly, Frank, it's just a magic. If you pull it, Frank, it's still got the length. Unless someone's been cutting my hair whilst I've been sleeping. I hope not. That would make me sad and afraid. Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. Well, we'll get some volume tomorrow, Frank. We'll get some volume tomorrow. Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats. Some of you might know it better as the musical it was turned into, which was Cats. There we go, Carly's excited. Right then, Carly, I'm just going to go shut this one down, open up the next one so I can catch it, because it's easier for me to go and edit it. I will use a good conditioner, Frank. Come on, I'm just going to shut this one down, open up, because I've got T.S. Eliot right there, and then we'll go and do Old Possums, discuss hair conditioner, and talk about cats. Absolutely like that magic doll. Right, bear with me a second. New scope in literally about a minute.